So I figured out what I would do is I would do sort of black and white traditional pictures of each soldier where we could speak and sort of get to know each other a bit, and then I would ask each soldier to put his head on the table. I showed them how to do it. I spoke to them when I did the stand-up pictures, but when I asked them to put their head on the table, I didn't say a word. People just did it. My only direction to them was, once they put their head down, they were stuck. They were locked in this kind of awkward position while I fumbled with the camera. And I kind of disappeared because I was put over my head. And so they could retreat into their own thoughts. And I think that there's often with photography a kind of unspoken communication between the photographer and the subject. Every photographer has a different way of approaching people, but with a large format camera you can do this kind of thing because it's very slow and very quiet. It's not about a decisive moment. It's really about people kind of retreating into their own thoughts. And it puts their head down differently, but the idea was to isolate the head to look when the photographs are shown in a gallery. They're very, very large, so they look kind of like the head of a fallen statue, which is part of what I had in mind. And I thought that people could just retreat into their own thoughts, and maybe by looking at these pictures we would see something of somebody's war experience. We might be able to see on their face something of what they had experienced in war. This fall, I teamed up with curator Suzanne Opton, and we decided to make what we call the Soldiers Billboard Project, with funding from Curators and a fledgling fund, and fiscal sponsorship from the New York Foundation for the Arts. We proposed to make, originally we were going to make 25 billboards in 5 states around the country this fall. It turned out to be a little bit more difficult than we thought. We just sort of pulled that number out of our hat in the beginning. And so what we did was, this is the billboard, the first billboard that went up in Denver in the week before the Democratic Convention. We had gone to, initially we had gone to Clear Channel in New York. We had a meeting with the people at Clear Channel to get them to give us public service rates for the billboards so that we wouldn't be paying the full fare. So we went to them, we had a meeting with them, and we showed them the imagery, we showed them this image. And they said, what is this? This is an anti-war statement. We said, no, it's not. It's really about the humanity of the soldiers. And in the week before the Republican Convention, when they saw the imagery, they said, what are these images? Are they actors? Are they real soldiers? Are they dead? Do you have releases? There was a lot of back and forth, a lot of questions about it, and eventually they said, we can't do this, we're canceling the contract. But so we had planned for 5 billboards and a viewership of almost 3 million people in St. Paul, including a huge billboard at the exit, one of the exits by the freeway in St. Paul. And so when they were canceled, there was an article in the New York Times which used this photograph, talking about why they canceled them, and then we had to go through, and then we ended up with Clear Channel after that. But we are now in 5 cities.